going to bring you a presentation. It's about my stress and pressure as a student and a teenager. Our generation today, Gen Z, have to suffer from a lot of stress and pressure. However, we are supposed not to be too vulnerable or easily hurted because of the good condition we enjoy. And as a teenager, I'm not the exception. I have my own stress and my own pressure. And my biggest problems are peer pressure and my perfectionism. First, let's find out what is peer pressure. Peer pressure is the influence of people in the same social group of people who are at the same age as you. For example, in a class like this, there is a student who got very high marks. She got 10 or 9 marks in math, science, literature, and every other subject. And it makes you feel worried. You feel that you are not as good as her, and then you force yourself to try more. You feel depressed. It's peer pressure. And the effects of peer pressure on me lasted for 6 years since I was in grade 1, and it impacted me negatively. At first, I feel really depressed because regardless how much effort I made, I still felt that I'm not as good as some other students. And then everything that I felt at that time was frustrating and disappointing about myself. And it also made me feel really sad, and I had been suffering from really negative emotions at that time. Besides, I also became oversensitive. I became overthinking and overtrying about everything. I see that students around me, they were so brilliant. They got a lot of achievements. They have very high marks, and it makes me stressed. I don't know how to improve my ability, but I know that I cannot just stay here and wait for them to get the achievement I want. And I also wonder how to be excellent like them. I became really depressed and disappointed, and it also makes me feel shy because I'm not as good as them, so I'm not confident. It also leads to my second problem, is that, I'm sorry. So let's talk a little about the reasons of peer pressure. Normally, the parents, especially in Asia, keep comparing their kids to the others, and the words we hear most, or phrase we hear most, con nhà người ta. Nhìn con nhà người ta là em. They compare us with the others without thinking about our ability. Each person has their own talent. For example, Boaz is good at drawing, Kim is good at singing, and Han is good at literature. Everybody has their own talents, and we cannot compare them like that. However, I'm not in this case. My parents understand me and tolerated me a lot. So the problem here is that I put too much pressure on myself, and day by day it made me feel tired and exhausted. And my second problem is that I try to be a perfectionist. Whatever I do, I want it to be perfect. For example, when I make a PowerPoint slide, I focus on the smallest details even when it is unnecessary. And it takes me a lot of time, and also makes me even more depressed. Besides, I also got problems with teamwork because I don't believe in the skills and the ability of other members in my group. Although they are good enough and they can solve a problem, however, I didn't believe them. I just think that I am the best and the other cannot do the thing I want. That's why I do everything when working in a group, and then I feel there are so many things for me to do and I cannot have enough time for them. However, after all of these difficulties, I found my my own solutions. At first, I tried to focus and improve myself more. I tried to study more and improve my skills, life skills, studying skills, and communicative skills. And I realized that it increased my confidence. It made me feel less shy, less depressed, and become more communicative. I tried to talk more, to present more, and it made me feel really better. Besides, I also talked to people who I admired in the past, like students around me, students in the special class, and I realized one thing, very important, that they have the stress like me too. They also suffer from peer pressure, they also suffer from strict parents, and a lot of other problems. It makes me feel much better because I can overcome that. I'm not alone. And my last solution, and I highly recommend this for you guys, is that you can look for advice and assistance from your teacher, your friends, or your family. Personally, I try to talk to my mother. She is a teacher, so she understands the stress that students have to face. And I asked for advice from her, and then everything became very better because my mother understands me best, and she can give me so many good advice. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.